that's when you have a really good group. When they are vocal and they're always there, and that's what the Barbs
and they're windmilling for you
and the Beehive.
They see something online, even though they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Look, but I'm ready for the election to be over. I'm just
no doubt. I am
ready.
too.
Ready.
Want some normalcy.
So while Beyonce was there in Houston, she did give her speech supporting Kamala. She brought out Mo Howard with her. Y'all saw how Kelly was dressed. They said
That's
Beyonce came out and Kelly was dressed as her husband.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's Kelly Rowland.
I know,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Nobody
not doing
said
that.
anything.
I'm not doing that.
That's not what Hassan said before.
We love Kelly Rowland too.
I rock with Kelly.
I love Kelly. Her dog's sexy.
Yeah,
Kelly fine.
That's
why I said, why was she dressed like that?
Chocolate bunny.
She can't. She don't want to steal the light.
Right.
Don't want to steal the light.
Who do you think told her to do that? Beyonce?
Possibly. Possibly.
She's like, we got our costume. It was like back in Destiny's Child. Tina Knowles said, I got y'all costumes ready.
You're going to wear this.
Yeah. And Beyonce's on the right. Kelly's on the left. She said, y'all, this is just like back in the day when y'all let me pick your costumes for you.
I mean, but like you said, I just don't think Trump is going to win. I just don't believe it. Like, I just don't think he's going to win.
I don't like Trump.
It's too many tangibles that can go against him.
I don't like
I
Trump. I don't like either candidate.
Just the way it's
I
going.
get you, but I mean, again, and I'm not going to be the one that's going to fake the funk because I
If
was
they
not.
told me Trump won this election, I'd be a little dumbfounded. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like,
I would.
I'd be a little dumb.
I would because again, this.
Think about all these that's talking about they're not going to vote for Kamala.
I would because the fact of the matter is, like I said, you got a convicted felon who's going. That's never has happened.
These are just talking points.
These white people don't care. They
right,
don't
but
care.
the point
They
is,
don't care.
but this is where I'm looking at these. I'm like, y'all will never see no shit that ever happen.
I got this one guy on my page, and he's a Trump supporter, black guy. And he was like, everything Trump has, I've got. I've got bankruptcies. I've got what else were we just saying Trump had? I got felonies and stuff like that. Got divorces and stuff like that.
You just up ass.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Who wasn't responsible with his.
They gravitate
But
towards
what I'm
that.
saying, this is
Yeah, I
what
got
makes
it.
people
But they
gravitate
stupid though. But the thing about it is, what you're not understanding is, you will never get excused like he is.
But
They're gonna hold your feet to fire.
But what was brought to his attention was, but are you that type of? Is your character like that?
It has to be. If you can sit here and
you can have the felonies, the all bankruptcies, divorces, but what's your character?
It's
and if
terrible.
No, I'm saying if your character is not like Trump, then you're not like Trump. You just got some similarities to him. But if you don't have the same characteristic attributes, then no, you're nothing like this man. You just have a couple of similarities.
Right. So the thing about it is, how can someone in a conscious manner want somebody to run the country again, and he calls it insurrection? I'm like, that's the part that baffles me. Nobody in history, whatever. And see, what people not understanding is the Supreme Court has said he cannot be convicted in presidential terms if he do some. So if he were to sit here, real talk. So if he was to sit here and use the military like he said he wanted to do to go after all his
How would that
adversaries.
even be possible? Wouldn't there be a number of checks and balances?
The point is, he had those checks and balances his first time. Now he gonna make sure he gonna get a bunch of yes men and yes women who's not gonna challenge him. He had a few that was going to challenge it because they chose country over party.
He watered them out. Like what did he?
He's weeding them out.
He weeded out.
He's
the
making
people the
sure.
first time
He's
who weren't
making
gonna
sure
stick
that
with it.
everybody he get this time, they're not going to challenge him on shit.
But that's not gonna happen.
What you mean?
People challenged him in his first presidency.
And those people that he picked were career. They were career politicians.
But not on that.
We talking about. Hold on. You talking about generals who their career was longer than his ass been in politics.
Yeah.
They're not sacrificing that shit over that. And what they're there for, they're there to defend the country, to defend the United States, to defend the Constitution. That's over party. It's country over party. He want people that's going to be over party versus country. That's not how it's supposed to be.
No, it's
and then
not.
on top of that, when you playing footsies with our adversary, imagine President Obama sitting here having private conversations with Saddam Hussein or anybody from the Arab world. You feel what I'm saying? And these white folks already pissed off because his name is Barack Obama. So imagine he sitting here playing footsies with any of our adversaries in the Middle East. They would not be trying to hear this shit. The fact of the matter is he idolizes dictatorship. And people does not understand that. When you had a mob come attack the goddamn Capitol.
We're past that. Like,
What you mean? How we past that?
Because we know this. It's nothing that we haven't spoke on 155 million
that. You
times.
gotta
I mean, they're out now. These are just.
But you gotta keep. But the fact of the matter is, you can't get tired from speaking on it. You have to continue to speak on
No,
it.
you don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
because
what you do.
the play ball is
This is what you do.
Okay.
You don't keep bringing up the old. You just go off of what you.
It's not
what
even
the
really
future
that
is.
old. It only
It is
happened
old.
what a little over. Not even.
We know
okay.
about the insurrection.
This-
These people don't care about none of that
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
You're
trying to
preaching
say.
people who you're not going to change.
We
their
not,
mind.
I'm not talking to the people.
I doubt if
I'm
we
not
have any
talking.
swing voters.
I'm not talking to the people who's all in. They made MAGA coke. You can't get to them. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking about you have a younger generation who identifies with Trump because that's how they don't know nothing about Obama. Because when Obama was out, a lot of them was babies and shit like that now the ones that's teenagers / young adult, they know about Trump and Biden. And Trump, and when you got Trump being idolized for some of the simplest
So I'm gonna run you something real quick because I work with a lot of kids. I work with a lot of white kids actually, and you'd be surprised at how many white kids don't like Trump. Now their parents will be like, my parents love him, but I can't stand him.
right.
You'd be surprised at how many of these young white men.
And how many of them eligible to vote?
Most of them, like you said, they were kids. Now they're voting age. These kids are 18. They can't wait to vote.
But I'm not talking about white kids. I'm talking about black kids. Black kids and black young adults identify themselves with Trump because one, it's the simplest. He gave out the free
No,
checks.
they don't. Not the,
Yes,
not the kids don't.
No, the young adults
But the kids
do.
know about
the young
sex.
adults. I said the young adults do. The kids identify with him because when you got the likes of 50 Cent playing Mini Men, attaching him to Mini Men and shit like that. Then on top of that, they are when you got other black high-end black people talking about, oh, he's being persecuted through court and shit. So anybody who's a minority who experienced being victimized of the justice system, and here you are, you got this white man that's sitting here, they identify with some of the simple.
I don't know how many of our young black brothers are really into politics
It's a
like
lot.
that.
It's
What
a
I
lot.
will say about the younger black generation, not that 30.
Like, yeah, but the
42,
18 to 25.
18, 20, they don't f Trump.
Yeah,
what
like, I
happens
don't-
with that audience? They look at their maternal figure. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's some things where the older, like I'm saying, the older, the 30 plus. Oh man, I don't f with Kamala. This, that, and this. But the younger than that, like yo, Kamala reminds me of my mom.
Yup.
She's like my mom.
Yup.
Why would I not want to vote for my mom? Like that's just what they say. I don't know if that's true or not,
Yup.
but that's just what they say. You know what I mean? So, but that's just how I look at it. You know what I mean? Because I still don't understand how you get to Trump versus Kamala and then be like, who's the adult? Like, how is that even an issue? Like, you can't just look and tell between these two their characteristics, their persona, how they act, how they walk in the room, how they conduct
I've been saying that from
themselves,
day
how they
one.
speak, how they talk to people.
Character is everything.
Well,
and if we're not going off of character,
obviously character, not because the thing that they keep trying to test Kamala about is, oh, she never identified herself as black.
And it's, I don't know.
So because she said, hey,
That's
y'all,
just-
I'm black.
but that's a simplistic mindset. Like, you
Right,
know,
but
when
this
you
is
try to
what
pick-
but
cherry
this
pick
is
that
what they're
point.
this is what they're holding on to. She's being black because she's conveniently being black. She's always been black. Her daddy's black, so she's always been black.
I don't know of a convenient time to be a soror.
Right.
I mean,
I'm
like,
just saying. And then on top of that, she she
craziest
went.
thing
First of all, you went to Howard.
That was a like you're talking about a woman who went to Howard, pledged, AKA, and you gonna talk down to this woman like she might have another
she's not
ethnicity.
black.
I know plenty of biracial women who still have done this same thing. Like we got.
She has two nationalities that she has to proudly speak.
We
on.
just gotta quit
South
gatekeeping.
Asian, and she's black. But the fact of the matter is, she ain't coming out snapping her hand, fingers, rolling her neck.
She did do the pearl. She did do the pearls.
She
in
certainly
Timberland.
ain't gonna do nothing to help black people.
But the fact of the matter is, the whole thing that I'm kind of like flabbergasted about is y'all finding some of the low fruit. The reason why you can disqualify.
But that's
her.
what they do.
But it's stupid. But over here, who done some of the worst of the worst, and he's telling you like, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Look how much vibration
y'all just
vibration that the low fruit brings.
But not
you
only
see what
that,
I'm saying? Like they respond to negativity. That's what they want. You need something that can make somebody feel a certain type of way. Oh, most black people, she don't claim black all the time. What type of do that? You're trying to trigger that. They're trying to find something to trigger. That's all that is. You're
going to down talk a woman who has walked through her whole life just achieving. When Donald Trump calls her stupid, I mean, come on, this woman's one of the smartest women
when you have now, especially like what's your boy name? He on X and shit. Tyrese.
He get her to cry?
No, not Tyrese. No, you stupid.
Who, Tyreek?
No, not the singer Tyrese. So
I know Tyreek.
Yes.
Rashid?
Yes. Hold on.
I follow Tyreek.
You good?
I follow him.
I follow him, but I don't like what he's being saying because number one, he's saying that anytime.
Yes.
He'll right now as of right now, my opinion, as of right now, he a fuck nigga because
I will put money on.
What he's saying is anybody who vote for Kamala, you a moist. That's what he said. And what I'm like, so because and some of the shit they're saying, what they be talking about, because I listened in on one of these conversations a couple weeks ago. The fact that in one of the low fruit shit they talking about, I heard is the fact, she hasn't claimed she's black. She's not going to do nothing for the black agenda for black people.
Which I agree.
She has to be a president for all. Ain't no president going to come in and say, I'm going to do something strict.
Listen up, I'm in the house.
Hey, I got y'all.
Yeah, we got that.
I'm in here. I got us.
I don't understand that.
I've never heard a presidential candidate say they're never going to do anything to specifically help black people. I've never in all my 43 years.
So what are we talking about there?
Tell her to shut the up when she says that.
How the fuck is that when somebody...
You ain't never supposed to tell the people you ain't going to do nothing for them and then demand
So if somebody asks you a specific...
You ain't never supposed to tell me.
So hold on.
You can look like me. You can go to my school. You ain't never gonna tell me.
But when she did though, you still had a fuck with it.
Because she didn't do nothing for us.
Bro, she just sat there and gave you
a plan that goes to everybody else.
She gave you a plan.
Set it up for Latinos
that goes to everybody.
She has to be a
everybody
president.
Else. Everybody.
The fact of the matter is, she directed something to black people.
It wasn't directed to black people.
Bro,
it was the same economic plan.
And I'm going to say this again. This is a voting bloc who don't vote on a regular basis.
75% of black men voted for are supporting Kamala.
What I'm saying to you is the data shows black doesn't vote. Outside of presidential election, they don't vote in midterms. That's where it counts. Midterms. Because whatever the agenda was if she were to get in, right? For her to push that agenda through, midterms still got to come out and vote.
She's not pushing now as vice president.
Okay, the thing
what has she done as vice president?
She wasn't even rolled out as to do anything for vice president.
But this is my thing. When people
How
say-
are you gonna condemn her for that? And she's not in
say-
it.
What is she supposed to
That's
do
my
as
thing.
the vice
What's
president,
my thing?
nigga?
that she can reference.
What?
Stop. Hold
As
on,
the
hold on,
vice
hold on.
president?
What
Yes.
vice president have you ever asked
None.
for anything?
None.
Except for this.
You don't even know most vice
But
presidents
this
that were
vice
on a
president,
goddamn
we're
Didn't
going-
ask
ticket.
for anything.
Which vice president in the American history have we ever been like, okay, vice president, you gotta
You gotta
this.
do something.
Nobody.
Y'all, that don't make any
That's a
sense.
lame
If you know
excuse.
if you
That's a
know
lame excuse.
civics, you know the vice president can't do.
All they do is run for vice president and hide them.
Let's take Joe Biden, for instance.
Right.
Joe Biden was vice president with Barack Obama.
Why?
correct?
Why he was talking?
And did nothing.
But why he was talking?
All he
why,
did was
no,
the
why-
white,
why-
the
but-
old
hold
saving
on.
white
See,
face
hold on.
that made all the people
can't take it.
No, we
all
can take that
those-
shit. Because
hold
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
All I'm saying
Go
was
ahead,
Joe
go ahead.
Biden was
When
that
that
old
makes
white
sense,
man
they
that made
can't-
Go ahead,
all
go
the
ahead,
rest
go
of
ahead.
America feel
No, let Buddha
comfortable.
finish his
That's
statement.
all that was.
So I can tear this shit up.
Go ahead. Because all
Joe
Joe Biden.
Biden did not run off of 4 years of what, or 8 years of what he did under Biden. He ran off of what he did for his Senate career and all of his previous years in politics. So Biden was what in the house? He's been a politician since what, the 60s?
He been in there for
Okay, so he has a track record to run off of
Correct.
when he ran for president. What does Kamala have? She was a senator, wasn't she?
She was a senator.
You said
She
And
was
a district attorney.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what
And
is she running off?
You're
and guess
saying
what? And
vice president.
What is she running? She has a career in politics
That's
before
fine,
vice.
Yeah,
we're
but
talking
she's not
about
the
vice
president.
What did she do in California that's
Hold on.
supposed to make
Everybody
us support her?
keeps saying that she should have done this and she should have
So
done
and that's
that
the case-
as
What's
a
her
vice
track
president.
record in
So
politics?
vice presidents
So
don't
what the
do
what the Biden
shit.
track record?
hold on,
Well,
obviously-
hold on.
No,
I'm about to bust
no,
this.
obviously-
You can't. I can't.
Obviously-
You talk about Biden? He got a track record. He formed the 94 crime bill. That's the reason why a lot of
Okay.
and that
And
shit
he
was
wasn't
some white
vice
kid.
president when he
It
did
don't
it.
matter. He was a bill.
Good.
That passed. That's the reason why a lot of black men
Well,
got felonies
I
and
know.
couldn't get jobs,
I know.
couldn't even get assistance,
I know.
couldn't get no.
And black people supported that.
But he was able to evolve. People still supported his ass. Here you go. You bring us some that she did that she's supposed to do at a job because on one hand the Republicans say she weak.
And
Make it make
my,
sense.
that's my take.
She ain't done
Make
shit.
sense.
On my
Niggas
side-
saying
What's her track record in Cali?
Hold on. She locked up a bunch of Republicans said she's soft as hell on crime.
and that's what I'm going to say.
Bro,
Like,
y'all don't make sense, bro.
that's the thing. Like
She locked up
we
everybody.
make it seem like she locked up every.
California
They make it seem like
versus
she let
California
everybody
versus a
loose.
national.
Oh, yeah, and the Samoans too, I
California
forgot.
versus a national bill. Let's that hang out there for a minute. What she did in California, what Joe Biden did, was a national bill. Like his
national bill?
his bill had more effect on black people than what she did in California. So
That's
come on,
because
make that shit make sense, bro.
His bill was national.
That exactly. His bill had a more profound effect on black people than what she did in California.
I know. And
So how the she doing California overrides what she doing as a Senate and as a done it as a
what's
vice
her
president?
track record? Her track record is so strong, y'all can't name it. She
Her
did.
track record, but her track record so weak, you still can't name.
Time out. This
Not
is
even
my-
that.
But stop. This
Am
is
I
my
supposed to
thing.
vote for Trump?
Who
Because I don't know her specific track
Like
record,
I
but she
said,
still acts like they're grown up in the
You're
room.
asking a vice president any president that's ever been president, they always slide the vice president somewhere else. Be
And,
missing forever.
What is the rest
The
of her
only
track
reason,
record
the
outside
only
of
reason
vice
why,
president?
the only reason why we seen Biden talk as much as he did because listen, Obama was the first in office. Obama couldn't go in the Rust Belt states
was the
like
face.
Pittsburgh and all
Biden
them
was-
places
yeah.
because
Biden was the
this
face.
white face had
Gotta
to
make
go
the
in
white
there
people
and
feel
talk the
comfortable.
shit.
Biden was the face.
Exactly.
We understood
so
that.
Biden didn't have. I'm sorry, Biden didn't roll her ass out until when it's election time. When you're talking about Roe versus Wade or anything else. Other than that, he kept her ass hidden. What's she supposed to do? Buck that like,
And
I'm gonna get
on
out
top
here
of that,
and talk my.
On top of that, you have her out. She's going to overshine Biden. If you have her out there in the public like
She did
that,
overshine Biden,
But
and
it-
that's
that's
why we're
the reason why they
that's
push
why
you.
we're in
That's
the
the reason why
position
they
that we
push
are.
you.
That's why you had to move her because she was going to outshine Biden. That's why you never heard from
Well,
Kamala.
it's not, and
That's
but
why.
See, but the whole other reason, and I don't know why people keep acting like this shit so absurd. Who the is these old ass white men keep trying to run America?
Like,
these
we need
senile ass white men trying to run America. We don't need
permission. Like, we need them. And like you're saying, we don't.
Who the who? Why? And then of all the in the world to choose from, you
And
choose
that's
this
what-
failed.
That's what it is with me. It's like, why do you need Trump? Like, if it was any other candidate that was decent,
Dude, you remember how they did?
Yeah,
what was
cool.
the dude who couldn't lift his arms up? McCain. You remember how they did McCain?
Yeah.
Remember how they did Mitt Romney?
he was decent. Mitt Romney, after you start looking back at people's character and stuff like that,
just
then
the
you
character,
get to
not their
him,
politics, not even their politics.
When you get to Trump, you're
just
like,
the personal
man,
characteristics of said person.
yeah, that's what.
Basic comprehension.
Do you want your child to act like such and such, or do you want your child to act like such and such? And that's what it is. And obviously,
Who's the grown up? Who's the adult over here right now?
so yeah, for people voting for Trump, that's fine. But that lets me know about you. That tells me everything I need to know about you.
Yeah, your decision making process.
That tells me everything I need to know about you.
Well, in regards to,
I hate politics, yo. I hate
I
politics.
love politics.
I fucking
it
hate
makes
politics.
me smarter.
All politics does, like I've always
Fire.
said,
It makes you fiery.
not even
No,
that. I'm not even
It
fired up.
challenges your conventional wisdom.
It's not even that.
Yes,
It's
it
something else that helps to separate people.
Yeah.
All the fucking
divide.
shit is just like a religion. That's all the is.
To
That's
divide.
all it is. And then you get real passionate about somebody who doesn't know or give a about you. On top of it all.
To me, election is about seeing how think, problem solving, and skills like that, analytics. Well, that's just me.
Hey, don't forget mental health, y'all. Mental health
Mental
is
health
everything.
is real.